Are you a parent who feels like you've tried everything to help your child, from diet changes to therapy to medications, but nothing seems to provide lasting relief? You're not alone. Today, an alarming 40% of children struggle with chronic health challenges, from digestive issues and respiratory problems, to things like behavioral issues and developmental delays. While many doctors they focus on caring for individual symptoms, there's a crucial piece of the puzzle that often goes overlooked: your child's nervous system regulation. Now, let me share a story about Robbie. He's a young boy who started care, and his struggles will sound probably familiar to most parents, and they do to me as well. It really broke his mother's heart because she was getting weekly emails from Robbie's teachers about focus struggles at school. Not only that, he wouldn't go to sleep at home. It was a big challenge for him to fall asleep and stay asleep. Big emotions, constant forgetfulness. So despite, diligently trying the dietary changes, she knew to do, like limiting food coloring and dyes, processed foods, limiting screen time as best as you could, right? Nothing seemed to help. And his mom felt really hopeless watching him struggle at home and at school. That all changed when they discovered neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic care. When they saw Robbie's neurological scans, it started to make sense of why his brain was so overwhelmed. There was actual proof as to why he was behaving that way and his inability to focus. Now, with consistent chiropractic care and helping his nervous system respond better to those challenges, they began starting to see more of that sweet boy shine through. His teacher even noticed the difference and reported improved self control and focus at school. And this was awesome for Robbie because it got momentum going where where then he could, do more and accomplish more, both at home and at school. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's break down the science behind neurosystem dysregulation, just like, it was the case in Robbie's story. Now, your child's nervous system is like their body's master control center. It's responsible for every function, from digestion to emotional regulation, all the things, right? So when the system becomes dysregulated, it gets stuck in what we call fight or flight mode. This makes it impossible for the body to rest, heal, develop properly. Now, this dysregulation, it can start as early as pregnancy and even continue through early childhood. Now, it doesn't just happen out of nowhere. There are risk factors, and we refer to these as what we call the perfect storm. That creates the nervous system dysregulation. And here's often, how that sequence goes. And the first thing that we often see is higher maternal stress during pregnancy. Maternal or paternal stress, honestly, like if there's stress present in the home, it can impact the developing baby's nervous system. Then birth interventions like C-section, forceps, vacuum extraction, they can all impact it physically, that delicate nervous system, and put it more into that fight or flight mode. Plus, then you add in, early childhood exposure to toxins, frequent illness, those further stress the system just from a different side of it. When all of these factors all combine, from the physical, the chemical, the emotional side of it, we call that the perfect storm of nervous system dysfunction. Now, with this background, what I want to do now is get into some of the signs to look for that may indicate that it's the root cause of the nervous system that's really dysregulated. And I like to break these down into really three different sides of it, both either physically, emotionally, or chemical or toxins with it. Now, the physical side of it, you can see a lot of, sleep issues. It could even be digestive problems, frequent illness, things that just affect our kids physically that we oftentimes see come out in the autonomic or automatic nervous system functions. Secondly, emotional challenges. This can be anxiety, mood swings, difficulty managing emotions, and that often ties into the physical side, because how many kids, when they have anxiety or they're angry, their tummy hurts. Then maybe they get constipated. They can't go to the bathroom as easy. It also can affect behavioral, right? This side of things, right? Where they can't focus. They're impulsive. Their sensory is more sensitive. They go from 0 to 100 very quickly. And all of these add up where kids, or parents, they might have these, developmental concerns where there's delays in meeting milestones, coordination problems with the motor system. Maybe they're not acting their age, or they're not as situationally aware or can focus on what they need to simply because the nervous system is dysregulated. Now, taking in all these factors, I want to talk through why traditional approaches in medicine often fall short of this. Now, most care plans and traditional medical models, they focus on managing the symptoms rather than addressing the root cause. So very simply, they're looking at the constipation, they're looking at the behavior, they're looking at the anxiety, they're looking at the developmental delay, all as separate things. And so they're not really saying, okay, how are all these connected? And how do we address that root cause? Now, in the medication realm, medication can provide temporary relief for one thing here, one thing there, but they don't restore proper nervous system function. They're not refueling to the system. They're simply going to basically govern the system or tone the system down. So then it really can't provide that lasting relief. Even natural approaches like diet changes, those are going to be super helpful, right? What parents know, hey, if my kids aren't behaving good, we got to throw out them food dyes. We got to get them eating healthier, drinking more water, all these things, right? But they don't fully address the underlying neurological imbalance. They just don't get fully to the root cause. I like to look at it this way. If a kid is really stressed out, anxious, angry, upset, and you put a really good, awesome plate of food in front of them, chances are they aren't going to want to eat it. In fact, if they're really frustrated, they might throw it back in your face and just turn to something else because their nervous system, the root cause, is too stressed to be able to handle that change. So if you're ready to discover whether nervous system dysregulation could be holding your child back from optimal health, we want to invite you to take the first step into this. Now, in our office, Rising Health Family Chiropractic, we focus on insight scanning technology. Insight scans are amazing because they objectively measure your child's nervous system function. So they can identify the areas of dysregulation that might be contributing to their health challenges. So at Rising Health, we fully specialize in helping kids just like Robbie to restore that proper nervous system function. So there's not the dysregulation in there, right? And we get this out through very specific, gentle adjustments tailored to their unique needs, right? So if this is interesting to you and you think it might be, deeper than just a symptomatic approach with your kiddos, we would love you to visit the link in our bio, schedule a consult, get these insight scans for your child, or even send us a direct message with any questions you might have about how neurologically focused chiropractic could help your child. Together, we really want to help children like Robbie break free from these chronic health challenges by getting to the root cause and unlocking their full potential for healing all the way through their life. God bless.